This is because we've got a Prime Morning special a little later on the show. And so this morning, I'm excited to have nurturing a Papa Kwamena Amo. You know him as Mr. Smooth. Good morning and welcome back to the studio. Okay, so we earlier told you about a little situation that we have. So I'll read the letter again and then would help Vivian. We'll put the telephone numbers online and also would also put that WhatsApp number for you to share your comments or questions on it. So here, dear Prime Morning, my name is Vivian. I'm in a relationship with a young man and we're planning to get married. I've noticed something about my partner which makes me think far. Sometimes I get scared and wonder if that particular action of his might end up in something unexpected. Whenever we have an argument or we're arguing over something and I become defensive, my partner starts to shout and raise his voice. I've noticed this with him for a while now. Sometimes I wish we could just have a normal argument and then agree to disagree. But immediately we start an argument, he will get up and start shouting. Now, my fear is that one day he may end up slapping or beating me in the process. The truth is that even when I'm defensive, I don't raise my voice. But for him, after a few seconds, he will start shouting. What do you think is the problem? And how can I handle this behavior of his? It scares me that one day he'll be violent towards me. I need your help. And this is coming from Vivian. Now, there's some things in this letter that I want you to take note of. It says that when she becomes defensive, she really never shouts, but her partner will start to shout and raise his voice. And then she's noticed this for a while. Sometimes she just really wished that they would have a simple and a normal argument, like you agree to disagree. So she's worried. Is this some sort of a disorder? Is this something she has to be worried about? Or that's just the man expressing his level of emotions and expressing whatever it is? It's not my job. Mr. Smooth is here. You will join in the conversation at some point. 0551 575757. Please. Yes. You've heard Vivian. This is the letter we have. What is it? Why is the man shouting?
Let me say a good morning to all your wonderful viewers. And it's a real pleasure to be back on this set, talking relationships with you. The interesting thing is, everyone in a relationship, whether it is just a relationship, it is marriage or whatever, there are 4 emotions that you should be very, very careful about. When you see any of those emotions, you quickly need to seek for help. Now, you heard a lady say defensive. Defensiveness is one of it. When you become defensive, you eventually convert your ordinary chats into an argument. You become defensive, simply trying to prove that you are right, the other person is wrong.
Okay.
Looking at differences in our temperaments. You may decide to become defensive and be quiet. The other person, seeing that probably what you have done or what you're saying is not right, and you still insisting that what you're doing is right, the person may decide to pick up emotion, raise the voice.
Okay.
So the first thing you need to watch is when you become defensive. And she said she becomes defensive. It's an emotion that when you see in a relationship, you should seek for help. The next one is stonewalling.
What's that?
Stonewalling.
Okay.
You just adapt attitude. Anything is all right. Whatever you're saying is okay. I mean, whatever you think you want to do is all right. I mean, and you don't really bother yourself about getting whatever issues that you have resolved. All you're doing is, all right, go ahead, do whatever you think you want to do. I mean, be all right. When you see such emotions in your relationship, seek help, seek for help. The next is when one person becomes overly critical. When the person decides to criticize you in public, or every little thing that you say comes with a very harsh critique, you should seek help.
Okay.
And the 4th one is contempt. When a person starts showing contempt, like drops you to the lowest level. When you see any of these 4 emotions in your relationship, it is one of the biggest red flags that most relationships ignore. Now, in this case, if she decides to become defensive and the guy also sees that, what I'm saying is right, you are just being stubborn. I am the man. And which is traditionally, some people think that because you are a man, you have power over the woman. Men who are not mature may one day strike you.
Okay, I like to go back to the whole defensive thing. Could it be that she says that she's defensive just by sticking to her ground, like you know, this is what I mean in this argument, white is white for me. I'm not necessarily shouting. I'm not necessarily showing any body language that makes you want to say you're overly defensive. She's just defending her spot in the argument. She's just defending her point, you know, staying to it and sticking to it, not changing her mind because she wants to end the argument. And she's not shouting. Okay.
The issue here too is you should know the person that you are having the arguments with. You should know the person, how the person communicates, how the person takes what you're doing. And the most important thing here is, it is not what you say, it is how you say it. It is not what you say, how you say it. You can be on the negative side, be very argumentative, and like she was saying, she doesn't raise her voice. And still be sober and still insist that what you're saying is right. But you need to be able to say the things that you were saying in a manner that will not trigger anger.
So at the moment, we don't even know whether this man is angry or not, except that he will raise his voice, he would even get up. So we don't know whether he's angry or he's just...
See, that is why I'm saying that it's a red flag. It is dangerous for people, someone that you're not married to. You are just in a relationship. And you know, some people take too much power when they start a relationship. They end up practicing marriage before marriage. And that is one of the key reasons why most relationships don't go the way they are supposed to go. I did one video on my YouTube channel not long ago about why people end up breaking up, starting relationships, breaking up. It's simply because of multiple hits, multiple fun in relationship that they have had. And they always would have to come and compare what they have had in their previous relationships with what they have now. It could be that this gentleman had some woman who was overly submissive.
Give me a minute. We'll stay on that. Let's go to Sue and talk to Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi. Thank you for calling. Yes. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to put in a little contribution to what you have discussed.
We're glad to hear.
Yeah. I'm calling from Osu. My name is Evelyn. And then I am a divorcee.
Okay.
Okay. And then I got married to my husband. And then he's just like that, a shouting partner. He's just, whenever there's an argument, he just, on top of his voice, start shouting. And then it will lead to a fight. This brought our breakup. We broke up because he beat me up. So when you meet a guy, you start dating and then you start this behavior, just know it's the wrong guy. You don't just continue to into the marriage, into the relationship to lead into marriage.
Okay.
And you marry that particular guy. It's the biggest mistake that we women do. There are certain things, there are certain small things about guys that we have to look at or see in relationship before we move into marriage. If this and you ignore it and then you go into marriage and then later he beats you up, he broke my heart. We just in the police station. Now we are divorced. So he goes into another lady and then behaves the same, beats the woman up, and then it goes on and on and on. So when you see that, you seek for help, as the counselor is saying. If he doesn't change, doesn't realize this is his character, for him to change, it's what goes into the next woman's marriage. So we ladies, we have to work both out. When you see a guy like that, just talk to him. If he doesn't change, ask somebody to help him, talking to him. If he still doesn't change, don't go into the marriage, or else you regret.
Okay.
You pitch up. That's the thing. the marriage breaks up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for sharing your story. Okay, thank you very much.
It's exactly what I was talking about here.
I would just want to find out, can you be a shouting partner but not be violent?
It's possible. It's possible. It depends on the background of the person. And most times we pick these things from growing up. Between age 0 and age 7 through 12. Okay. We pick up everything we need to pick up in marriage by observing what we see in the family that we live in. And that becomes a basic of your subconscious mind. So as you grow, you only add up. And if the father was the type that was always speaking on top of the voice, he sees it as normal. There are some people who naturally have a high pitch. Like when you are talking, they have a very high pitch. And if that is how the person is, the person may not necessarily be aware that he is probably talking on top of the voice, but he sees what he's doing as pretty normal.
Yeah.
And with such people, you need to constantly remind them in your conversation, in your chat with him, will you drop down? Will you drop down your voice a little? And you see, that is the learning process. And in a relationship, like I was saying before the caller came in, relationships are the period that you get to know each other. You don't start marriage or start practicing marriage when you are in a relationship. You get to know each other and decide whether this is the way to go or not.
Okay, well, we're not going to shout, but come with you to Bolga. Okay, let's talk to Latif. Hi, Latif, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Latif, how are you, and thank you for calling us.
I'm very fine, and how's everyone over there?
Right, we're good, thanks. Right, so go on.
Please, I have a problem, and I wanted to share with the counselor.
Okay.
Actually, I'm the type who wants to practice. Most often, I practice like more or less like I'm in marriage when I'm in my relationship. Okay. And in my current relationship right now, from my past experiences, I've decided to stop that behavior, like practicing marriage when I'm in a relationship. But with this lady I'm with right now, we were together before she actually started working, and during those times. No, I know it's not good to go through her phones and her stuff, but I find my way of going through her phones. And each time I go through her phone, I find things that doesn't help the relationship at all. Like a lot of stuff that we have to talk through it before later she feels like, okay, yeah, I didn't do it and I'm sorry, and then I would change towards that. I did that severely and it has helped the relationship. But now she's working and she feels like she doesn't want me to go through her stuff. And I feel like when I go through it, I would see things that would. And currently we are thinking of fixing a date for our marriage. It is killing me because I feel like, why can't I go through your stuff if you think you're not hiding anything? Because I really want to know whatever you are about, because we are fixing a date for our marriage. And I did say, because she is working now, she feels like I can't. I can't. She feels like I'm cooking, and it's not so. So I want to know what to do, because I'm really getting confused. It's getting out of hand.
Okay, Latif, you were able to keep watching. That was a lot over to you.
The interesting thing here is you are not married to her.
Okay.
And you have no control over her private life.
Okay.
The fact that you are in a relationship with her doesn't mean you would have to be checking her phones and all this stuff. Personally, I think that when two people decide they want to be in a relationship and they decide that you can use my phone, I can use your phone, when both of you decide, that is fine.
Okay.
But when one disagrees, you still have to respect the person's rights, even whether you are married or not. If the person says, this is my phone, this is my private stuff, and I can tell you that there are many relationships that have gone bad just because of this mobile phone thing. And, you know, when I send messages, when I do broadcast messages, I have as many as 36 or 40 broadcast groups, that I send messages to. At the end of every message, I have "Love you, Mr. Smooth."
Okay.
A couple that I send a message to the wife, one of them, to the wife, and the man saw the message "Love you, Mr. Smooth." He didn't read the message. "Love you, Mr. Smooth" was what he was attacking. Why should he send you that? Why should he? The man called me. And I said, oh, that is really nice. I'm happy that at least you have access to your wife's phone. But what message was it? read the content. He said, no. I said, why do you love my wife? I said, read the content. People just attribute that love you to romantic love.
So Latif, is Latif insecure?
Exactly so. He feels insecure.
What if the woman is showing, you see, things that will make him insecure?
If the woman has done things that you think you can't trust her, the 3 key things in relationships that makes a stick: trust, communication before sex. Trust, communication before sex. If there's no trust, you can't communicate well. If you don't communicate well, you can't even make good love.
I see.
So if you miss the first one, you don't trust her simply because you may have seen something that she's done and probably you pushed and she agreed that she did it. If you don't trust her well enough to believe that she's mature enough to be in a marriage without repeating those things, there's no need to start it. And sometimes we invest so much of our time, our energy, our emotions, our money into a relationship that even when we are seeing all the red flags, we still want to get married because we think we've been there for too long.
Good point. Now, I'll stay with you on this point. So for Vivian, who says that she really likes this man, she really is in love with the man, and sometimes she really feels like leaving him, but how she feels about him is not allowing her to leave him. Is it possible that the man is just a shouting man, but it's not violent? What can Vivian look out for to see?
One, Vivian needs to have both of them see a trained counselor to have a session. They should talk about this very issue that is eating her up. You should have somebody who is trained in that area to have a word, to have a chat with them. Get to know exactly what triggers the man to do that.
Just simple arguments.
Yes.
We're having arguments. Should they pass the anti-gay bill or not?
No, the thing is, there are things that would, I mean, if normally the man is not always shouting all around the place, but when that happens, there's something that triggers it. We need to be able to identify what is triggering it and then be able to find a way that both of them can support each other so that it doesn't come up. That is one.
Before we go to 2, let's go to Bulga and talk to Felix. Hi, Felix. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right.
Thank you. I want to contribute to your calling from Bulga.
Please go on. You sound very, very hectic. Thank you. Please go on.
Yeah. I want to say that when you look at a shouting partner and a silent partner, look at this. Most shouting partners are not the dangerous ones.
They are not what?
It's the silent one. When you look at people who commit suicide, who kill people, it is rather the silent one, mostly. Unless the shouting one is somebody who takes drugs or into something. So I think that in your programs, try to get the background of the lady and the man. Shouldn't just be my partner shouts. Probably the man is pushing the lady to go to school, and the lady doesn't want to go. There could be some small thing. You see, these your programs, a lot of people actually watch and they put it into practice. Don't take it lightly. You have to spend money. You have to check. You have to have a format. Tell us what is it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Felix. So maybe I'd have to read the letter again because it's quite clear that it is only when they're having arguments. And these things happen. You really don't need some research to get to know.
Good.
So simple argument, Felix. It's just a simple argument. It's not one specific thing that the man is forcing the girl to do or the girl is forcing the man to do or not. So anyway, thank you for the advice. But yeah, we're going
the next thing is to observe how he behaves with people that are lower than him.
Okay.
People that are equal to him and people that are above him.
Okay.
So if he ends up yelling and shouting and striking people that are lower than him, you should also watch that. I even remember telling a friend, a lady friend, that watch the way your man drives in public, I mean in traffic. The way he responds or insults drivers will be done to you. Check it. When the man...
Give me a minute. Hello, Vida.
Yes, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Vida, please go on.
Please, I'm in a relationship that I'm not happy about.
Oh.
Yes. Good morning. Hi. Good morning.
Oh, okay. So, Vida, what you do not want to do so that you're unhappy at all is listen to us on the television, okay? Listen to me on the phone.
I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
I was with my husband when the payment came. So my firstborn is a boy. And then second, I gave birth to twins. It was last year, December, that I gave birth. So, I don't know, in the family too, they are against me.
They are against twins. Vida, yes, I'm trying to get a little more clarity. So what, the family is against twins?
They are against me and then the children.
How do you mean?
They don't like me.
How do you know?
If it's like, I don't do anything to know. I'm a housewife. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
I said I'm a housewife.
So you're a housewife. Yes, I'm trying to find out how you got to know that they don't like you. Did they say it to you, to your face?
Yes. So when I gave birth and my mother-in-law came, the relationship was not all that. If I ask something to my husband, my mother-in-law will be talking. You don't have this, you don't have this, and you want.
Okay. So yeah, your issue, would have to talk a little more about it. So what we'll do, I'll get Mr. Smooth at some point to share his number so that he can talk to you and ask a lot more questions before you can get some help. Is that okay? Okay, I'm sure it's one of the twins. So thank you for calling, but keep watching. I will take the number so that you call and then have a private conversation with the counselor, okay?
All right, so what I was getting at with the driver thing is...
Yes.
If you are driving, you meet somebody you don't know, and the person commits a blunder driving, and you can just throw out insults, stop and fight. When you are with that person, and the person becomes familiar with you, the person can do similar things to you. So you need to use that dating or, relationship period to get to know some of the things the person is capable of doing. I assess people, like ladies, from the way they talk to their father, the way they relate with their brothers. If the lady talks to the father anyhow, if the lady doesn't respect the father, the likelihood of he not respecting the husband is high. If the man doesn't respect the mother, the way he will relate to a woman would also be maybe similar.
We've seen people who love their mothers, like from heaven back to this earth. They love them so much, but they're not able to love another woman. Before you come in, let me take this message from Frank. So, good morning. I'm Frank from East Legon. It's possible he's not a partner of wife beater. Not too sure, but some people just have a way of expressing themselves, especially we Nigerians, myself inclusive. I have a loud voice, so when we argue, it's like I'm shouting, but that's my voice. Sometimes my partner has to remind me, like, babe, you're shouting. Then I bring down my voice. So it's not necessarily a red flag. That's noted.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, Councillor mentioned that. Thank you, Frank, for sending in that message. So another one, the guy will never change because he thinks he's the head, meaning he's the man. It happened to my lady friend, and she had to quit the marriage because the guy ended up beating her. The councillor is right. I'm not too sure on what the councillor said that's right on this.
Is it honestly, like I said, just check the 4 emotions. While you are dating, you are in a relationship, or you are courting, or whatever you call it, check the 4 emotions. When you become overly defensive, when you start stonewalling, when you overly become critical, and when you start showing contempt. If you don't correct these 4 things, and then you move into marriage, it becomes a continuation of the bitterness. It's very, very important that whoever is getting into a relationship, check these 4. And then I'll continue to say it, that you can't bring experiences of your past relationships into your current. And as much as possible, try and limit the number of relationships you have had before you get married. As much as possible. As much as possible.
How?
You reduce your bonding ability.
Okay, not the number of relationships.
You know what I'm saying? Once you have a number of them, you, the individual, who you've had good relationships that didn't work well. You've had bad relationships that didn't work well. I'm using the same way. It's like you had a very wonderful guy and the relationship that didn't work. Like it didn't end up the way you wanted. You've had a very bad one. It didn't end up the way you wanted. And you've had a series of in between. And then eventually you decide to get settled. You miss the bond. The bond is like you pick a sellotape, a masking tape. You are fixed on paper. That is a relationship. When you peel it off, you have part of that paper on your tape.
Okay.
The next relationship you go and fix, you peel it off. You have part of it in there. After you continue to do it for a while, the tape won't affix. And if it's around that time that you decide to get married, you can't actually commit 100% into the relationship. And without commitment, like if I am giving my all, I'm seeing that you are not, it starts breeding conflicts.
Okay.
And the relationship doesn't actually work.
So for Vivian, she has to try to find out if this partner of hers only shouts with her when they're arguing.
She needs to find if the man is violent in any way besides dealing with her.
Okay. The man is not violent at the moment yet. He's not showing.
So what I'm saying is she has to find out if the man shows or exhibits any form of violence, especially with people that are lower or equal to his level.
Okay. Let's go to Tashi and talk to Samuel. Hi, Samuel.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Oh, very hearty this morning.
Yeah. I'm calling Samuel, the photographer at the Ghana School of Law.
Okay.
I would like to thank God for the gift of the life of the cancer.
Okay, counselor.
How far the Lord has brought him to a photographer at the law school.
Yes, we heard that, sir.
Yeah. I wish him congratulations.
Okay.
For the newly married couple. So I just want to say hello to him.
Okay.
He knows me very well.
Okay.
From faculty to the law school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
thank you so much. I enjoy the program too.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. Are you married and you didn't tell us?
No. But he may know me because I did some work with Radio Universe.
Okay.
And Radio Universe is very close to the law school, so
okay,
I'm not surprised. He may know me.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel. Okay, so back to Vivian.
Yes.
Vivian put a lot of emotions. She's actually sent a follow-up message. So she put a lot of emotions in the letter because it looks as though it matters to her how she feels about this man. So we're trying to...
There's one thing I always tell people. Love is not a feeling. I think I've said that here before. Love is not a feeling. If it were a feeling, when the feeling is no longer there, love is gone.
And so what would
love is something that you do. If Vivian loves this man enough, he has to accept that I will not become defensive so that he will not raise his voice.
No. Okay, so let's say she's not being defensive, but they're just having an argument. Can we not have a simple argument?
You see, from the message she said she becomes defensive.
I like, when I read it, I put it in context by saying that when she is putting her point across, because then sometimes it's just genuine. You do not agree on what your partner says.
There are many ways.
No, she should let Onka say okay.
There are many ways to put your point across. There are many ways to make someone who is not ready to even listen to you.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm curious because then I hope we're not putting Vivian in a way that she will not even start to express herself anymore. Let's go to Medina and talk to Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to hear you. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry that we lost you.
See, I mean, when it comes to bottling in your head and not being able to talk and all that, it actually destroys relationships too.
Okay.
But here, there are some basic tips that everyone can use. Like when I am talking to somebody who doesn't really listen to me, I use a method we call the SALT principle.
What's that?
SALT principle.
You put salt, you walk about the salt.
All I'm doing is I raise your interest to a level where whatever I say, I get your undivided attention. I'm able to pass whatever I want to pass to you.
It's not too much work.
It's not work. It is It is more difficult if you don't do it that way and want to get into being defensive and having arguments. For instance, if I know the guy loves football, we all know most people would end up liking either C. Ronaldo or Messi or some other footballer. So basically, if I want to get your undivided attention, I'm going to pass through them to get to you. For instance, when we are sitting and there's something I really want to pass to you, and I come and say, hey, have you heard what
give me a moment. I've got a caller from Cameroon so that I don't keep him on the phone, him or her on the phone for a while. Hi, good morning. Edward.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to hear you call all the way from Cameroon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I like the program. This is my second time watching you.
Okay. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, this is me.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I missed. Okay.
This is so using the SWORD principle, like I said, I make sure that anything that I value, that I want to pass across to you, I do so only when I have your undivided attention. That's not too much work. And it's easy. Children do it. Kids play. Use that to get what they want.
Okay. Okay.
Do you know what grade I had in school? Your child comes and tells you, do you know what happened in school today?
Well,
my teacher said I did so well.
Before we continue with the child.
You see, your mind goes to your child, right?
My child.
Yes.
The one I'm here to give it to. So let's go to Sunyani and talk to Gifty.
What happened in school today?
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Gifty, please go on.
Your mind goes to your...
Please have issue with my relationship.
You have issues in your relationship. Please mute your television or lower the... Okay, good. Please go on.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah. Hello. We're sorry. So if you call, kindly mute the television and listen to us on the phone. Okay, please.
So I'm saying that you can always find ways to get your information passed on. Okay. Like my child wants to get something from me. He said, do you know what I did at school? Do you know what my teacher said at school?
You have my full attention.
Then I said, oh, you promised me this.
Okay, so...
You get it.
Can a shouting partner, really, can they change ever?
Change change happens when the individual wants to.
Okay, give me a minute. Let's go to the Volta region. Hi, Dalali.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dalali. Please go on and thank you for... I'm very well, thank you. How are you
too? That's a nice program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to put something across. You see, Vivian reported what has been happening, how the man behaves. But can Vivian also tell us how she also behaves? You see, we ladies of today, frankly speaking, we hide behind the scene and say all manner of things about our guys when there is an argument.
Okay.
What really did Vivian said that pushed the guy to be shouting? Okay?
Okay.
Vivian might said something, but Vivian wouldn't report to you on air that this was what I said. But she will hide behind this. It's normal these days. We had a quarrel in relationship. What happened? We ladies, ya know ya. And ya something ya person obian say ya right. Me, for instance, I have a louder voice. So if you are me that is my voice naturally. And so Vivian bet me I can say, oh, at times means so we differ. It would have been better to settle this case. Yeah. Okay. And let's watch it from that angle. She might also be hiding behind the shouting of his guy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's also I keep using defensive. When she says she is being defensive, it means there's something they are arguing about that she is defending herself.
So how about we go past the defensive and go to the point where she says that I wish we would just have a simple argument. Agree
And
to
you
disagree.
see,
Just that.
simple argument, whatever you are passing across, it is not what you say, how you say it. The Bible, those who believe in it, say that soft answer turns away wrath. Yes. So if you respond, when you're communicating with somebody, you should respond to the conversation and not react to it.
Let's go to Bolga. I'm getting a lot of calls from Bolgatanga today. Let's talk to Perpetua. Hi, Perpetua. Good morning.
I'm so grateful to watch this program.
Okay.
I just want to contribute or to ask. Good morning, Sister.
Okay. I heard your good morning even before I woke up. Please mute the television when you call. I'm so sorry. We missed out. The line dropped.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to pass across, it is not what you're saying. It's not the words you're using. It is how you're saying it. It's so important.
What is the difference between a partner that shouts but is still seated and a partner that shouts and is standing?
You see, that is very difficult to answer because
because you see,
what is the person shouting about?
So we're arguing.
I am angry. I talk. I'm still sitting. I am angry. I talk. I get up. I want to leave. You see, it takes something to trigger anger. Because unless, of course, the person is off the head that nothing happens, the person simply just gets angry and starts throwing tantrums. There's something that happens that triggers the person's emotions. And I'm saying that we all need to learn to communicate persuasively and effectively in whatever relationship we find ourselves in. And to be able to communicate persuasively and effectively, you need to learn some basic communication skills. And it is looking at the right place, the right time to say and use the right words. Because even if I want to get angry on set, with what I have trained myself to do, I can say all the hurt things, all the hurting things, without showing an emotion on my face.
Tell us the trick. But let's read this message. So, hi, good morning, MF. I hope you're good. And well, thank you for asking. I find myself in an unhappy relationship. It's sad. I'm always apologizing for things I didn't do just because I want the relationship to work. When we have an argument, he would hang up calls on me. He wouldn't pick my numerous calls and ignore my messages. My messages are seen as disrespectful and inconsiderate. I have been taking for granted in this relationship, and it's taking a toll on me. I'm not happy. I want to talk to someone. Please help me, MFA. This is coming from Annie.
You see, exactly what I said. Contempt. Seek help. Both of you should see somebody that will help you in a relationship or walk out of it. Because this won't change once it gets into marriage. It may even get worse. So now that it is not married, and you see, most times women who get into such situations end up having a lot of emotional investments. Having sex, playing wife, and all that. So sometimes you think you've wasted time, you think you've invested so much of your energy and efforts into the relationship and you're not ready to let go. And it is at this point that if you don't let go and it gets into marriage, you get your breaking point. And that is where you get all the troubles most women get into. But I can tell you for a fact that when you see some of these four emotions, this is a sign of contempt. The person doesn't really respect you. Seek help. And if the person is not ready to talk to somebody who is going to actually help both of you build that foundation and be able to remove that thing that is eating you up, the best is to stop it.
Oh. Really,
it's painful.
Yeah, I must say that it's
but
really
it will be more painful when this happens after marriage.
Okay. Hi, my name is Felix Graham, and I really love this program. Thank you so much. Hi, MFA. Please, I'm in a relationship where the guy doesn't know how to talk. He talks to people like he's talking to his friends. The manner in which he talks is very bad, kind of indirectly insulting, but makes it as a joke. My mom has noticed it and is not happy with our relationship. What do I do?
What are you doing?
Same principle here.
What are you in there doing? Because even when you were in a relationship, if he talks to you anyhow, when you get married, what's going to happen? It won't change. Marriage doesn't change character. Like I was saying before the caller came in, it takes somebody to identify that I have this flaw and I want to work on myself. And probably seek your support to work towards that change. But if the person doesn't see anything wrong with what he or she is doing, and you are sitting somewhere you want to change that person, it doesn't work that way. So first of all, I should identify what I do that is wrong. I should accept it is wrong, and I should accept that I want to work on myself to correct it. And until then, you can do all the talking, all the emotions. If I don't see what I'm doing as wrong, and you're calling for change, you're wasting your time and energy.
I've got an interesting question for
Great.
you. I know that Vivian is watching. This is not the question for Vivian, but we're trying to help people alongside as well. So I have a lady friend who wants to know if she can marry her cheating boyfriend. But aside cheating, he's there's an emphasis on the very, very, very. He's such a very, very, very nice person in everything.
You see, if she sees cheating as a problem, and if they get married and the cheating is going to be a problem for her, then she shouldn't go into it. Because the boyfriend is cheating, it means when you get married, he is going to continue to do it. So if you don't mind him cheating and you want him to continue to have his life and you continue to share, that's it.
Give me a minute, we'll stay on this topic.
Great.
But let's talk to Mariam. Hi, Mariam. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling us.
Please, let me Katrika.
Oh, Pacho Annie.
Yo, Pacho, because I'm free tamale.
Okay.
My worry. Na me kuno no. Same bia edidi atam like onya be ma wutumi ni tin komo. I so eni. Obie na no a oye kwasea. Aboa. Like sa no kasa.
No, oye sa da dansa na mo worry.
Na want to sa nchase no mo. But me be wo ba ku wiye no. Wasesa.
Contempt.
Kuna ne kasa o se oya ponche. Ebe wo ni ntimi ndin komo e ma wa kuma nto yem. Ni obeka ne na ye right. On pese me ye eduma, mi sa pese mi tua mi sukuru so on pese me ko. Se me hu ne e se kra dia fono me.
Oba ordinance account da wabomeda.
Ask whether she's pretty.
Wabumi had to be 3 times.
No, one kasa no o kasa fa wo ho a. O den na wo dwen fa wo ho.
Me no the oya me no ase obi okuma pe o ka kire me say me mu oba wunye india ni ba na mabu me mu oba me to hye no me sumi pese me yeduma wo si debi.
Wow. Na uni obi adi nkomo afa ho na busuani na say uni panyi bi a o hira ma ware no so ana say uni obi akasa.
Eba to an me no obi akasa me no na busuan for kra kasa afa but me hu na ye bia me sister na ye obi aya na oka bo am say bia eni kwanse be ma wuto oba hu sa say we hu no but ni otia na otia nse say afono me okasa kra tia me ma me na me ye ma dwudu be me wo say betwe na so kakra ntina me de me ho ka me no say de dey anka be ma bi ho be hwe wat na say oba e de na ekosu ono so yi na ni o.
Wow. I think that's now more worry for how many years, Niena? How many years na sa adewe AC?
7 years in na go school. Na me ko SHS. Any year me ho ade.
Okay.
She's asked if she's a fine girl.
Nti me pacho then na wo pesa wo ye.
Tesi ano me sure ye no me pipes ne enye enti me ye say me pese me sa to asukotro ye kan say no deck. Na me share but on peneso.
Okay. You know, so me na me pese me ho say bia oni be manage me atina say di nkomo ba wo see che say on pe wanim kwampa hwe Nkomo bi eni ho person ni udi.
Wona de bedi nkomo a, wo share komo na se na wo say, mema me bufu. Eye twaso nkasa bebre ma me bufu. Enti aba ne za wo kra asem na wo beka no. Wo say de won kan nfa.
Na ujidi se why ye bibi a betimi ama na sesasa.
Me jani shu, ne de ne say men kasa obi hu. Area ye wo new area. Men kasa obi hu. Me say wo be ro obi fie like me say wo so ye djuma wo di fie. Me ne ba na nko a. Eye den ya nipa de obi kasa obi hu. Ana wo so ma mani nje nti ala se kasa obi hu.
Okay, I say, yeah, tie wo side pay, nyante be man ne side ye, inti asem ne be ding say beka. Inti be a yeah, counselor answer be reassure no counselor de ne number e be tudwa na wa frɛ no na oni na abon komo. But me said there wo kika ni nyina ya mpa dia, and then I'm very sorry say wo sa to be animal. Why? Okay. Okay, so for those of you who do not understand Chi, we've got this caller who called us from Bolga, and she shares with us how long she's been married to her husband. It's been 7 years. She got married to the man when she was in secondary school. And they have a child. But since after childbirth, the man really can address her. Use very abusive words on her. I continue to ask if the man has hit her before. She said yes. I was trying to figure out what she probably had done, and then the man was behaving like this. But she said that the man doesn't want her to talk to anybody, don't engage anybody. Quite a difficult one if all she said is true. But we're hoping that a counselor can help with this one. That's a tough one.
I was asking you to ask one thing.
We're unable to ask such questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The issue is some men treat women that way when they, the men, feel insecure.
True.
Especially when the woman they are married to is so beautiful that they feel once the woman starts working, another man would get to see her and lose her. When they start making progress, another man will take her from him. Or when he starts respecting the woman will start feeling good and eventually lose control over her. So what they do is they try to push you into submission, that you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, you're just going to be here, and basically that's it. And in some cases it's exactly so. The man actually has a problem with insecurity. The man probably, there are times when you get a woman that you naturally didn't expect that a guy like you is going to get.
Please hold on to that thought. Would continue.
Yeah.
I've got a follow-up question,
Yeah.
but let's go to Ashamba and talk to Rukaya. Hello, Rukaya. Good morning. I'm so sorry that we lost Rukaya. I apologize.
So when it happens that way, some men do that just to bring the woman.
She was on the point that when she had her first child, then the man changed. Could it be,
Yes.
the things that happen? Okay.
Put her down, because now I have a child, and for some men, when they want to do that, they will have a number of children with you, so you can leave.
So wait, I asked particularly what she wants to do. She says she wants to continue her education.
The man won't allow you.
Do you need permission?
You see, it depends on the sort of marriage that they have, the sort of settings that they have, the sort of arrangements they have between the two of them. Because if the man is providing everything, and he feels that I can still provide for you, and this is where you have to be, I don't want you to go to school.
Let's go to Domai Crew and talk to Nanefia or Nanekia. Did I get the name right? Good morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. What's happening with my phone lines? If you're trying the phone lines, you can also send us messages. And please do not call the WhatsApp number. You will call the 0302-211-693 or 94. And then you will send me a message on 0551-575757. I've got a few messages. So my ex called my current lady whom I'm thinking of getting married to. I'm sorry, please do not call the WhatsApp number. Who I'm thinking of getting married to. Spoke a whole lot of things, and my current relationship is on the verge of collapsing.
The ex is still there.
How?
The ex is still in love.
We're not going away from Vivian's letter. We'll definitely come to a conclusion. I know that Vivian would definitely remember the points that we raised, and we'll wrap up on that one. But let's also take a few messages. We're talking to Kofi right now. Hello, Kofi. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Please, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Pandai, Northern Region.
Okay. I've got lots of friends from the northern region. Please go on.
I just want to talk about the lady that called the husband doesn't want her to go out and stuff. With my experience, sometimes when you see a man behaving like that, maybe the woman has cheated on so many occasions. So this time around, the man knows that, no, this is the kind of woman I'm living with. If I to allow her to be going out, she's going to continue with the cheating. And if you listen to her very well, they only got hung up when she was in secondary school. It was not a genuine love or relationship. So now the man feel like, this lady want to leave me. Maybe I've spent so much on her. Let me keep her in the house so that I don't lose her. So the lady should recheck herself very well. If it is a movement, how that is creating the confusion, maybe cheating aspect, she should quit it and she'll have a peace of mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I'll take a few messages. My guy told me he slapped a lady while in SHS, so he vowed never to have an argument with any lady. But as we go along, any small expression of opinions, he shouts and calls me names and tells me to leave the relationship if I want to. He could insult, and if one word comes out of me, he leaves and he would board a car as at 11 p.m. to an unknown place of abode, which is in a different region. I'm quite confused about that part of it, but so I've decided to let him go because we've been dating for 5 years and he hasn't changed. Good morning, MFA, and this is a nice program.
Exactly so.
Okay.
Practicing marriage before marriage.
Okay, well...
Practicing marriage before marriage. The guy is just showing contempt. So with this, if you don't seek help and end the relationship or correct what is happening, you migrate into marriage with the same attitude.
But she's taking the decision. She wants to let go.
So that's
nice to know.
I support that.
Okay, so we've got a friend calling us from Koforidua, except we're unable to tell the name. Please, good morning, and thank you for calling us.
Good morning.
Okay.
Please, I want to speak to you.
Pacho,
Me Pacho. Me ex-B na me no work for the higher, but I worry. Me small worry this September ya. Bagane me pa. I say, Onja me Emma me husband, and I say, I didn't hear. I say, the real me chain open, and I say, I didn't know call worry. Now, wait, I worry me, and I'm small call worry. Now, me, I'm peace. So the taxi driver, be a me Amiano.
That's so many.
You know, Mamma dream, my bassa, Nico so a Nico for their. And you may be your best friend, my blocking a lie, still all the different lie, a friend. It's in Bamochon, the same one, Kaka, or sister, Miriam, and Medana, and all the best Bruce. When I'm saying how? Because so way, one January, Miss Mawari September this year now, which I then when you cool year. Now I say, why dream woman, so far. It's in Bamochon, one, Kaka.
Okay, me Pacho, so bet me just some person, maybe some Kaka.
Okay.
Now, what are they doing?
Ono ne jam bi ono ko fa oba no ne wo ye na misu se sa de a ntin bi
me nim say wa worry but me pesa me busa anya bia ogusu penana
me pacho devi.
Okay, so one penny dia enya senia o tata ne dia no na stalking it bia just o kona ko report to police station
me pacho
so one ugidi pass one penno because o worry September ya ugidi say embe how now won't feel shady and then I just say police station. Why?
Because me go swimming but when him saw him ex.
Okay.
You know, me say obey ya mammy go say if you are many day tip pen, maybe a problem. But me go in house me friend and me hello say me pa me person before me say how. Miss Mawari, I don't know what me.
Or reporting my police now say I had Janet to say I was in the urine, but for starters, no reporting my police station. Why? Okay, yeah, that's our friend.
Exactly so.
Okay.
Exactly so.
You think it's a good idea to report to them?
Yeah.
But why would you want to be stalking your ex like that? Is it love or obsession?
You see, there are times when men make decisions that based on temporal feelings. You might have seen another woman and thought the woman was better than what he had, and went for her and has seen that the other one is better. And by the time he realized he'd already married, so still want to be with the old one.
Wow.
Indecision, I mean.
Okay, so I've got a tall message here. Hi, MFA, good morning. I'm Mami. I find myself in an unhappy relationship. Most times when we meet or vibe is magical, but other times my partner gets off. When there's a situation and I speak up about it, he ignores it without giving me a listening ear. Dear MFA, this guy in question doesn't like talking. I do. I want to be heard, listened to, but when issues pop up, he won't say anything. He will just give me attitude. No calls, texts, and he will bear grudges for a longer period of time, which led to separation a couple of months. He always complains I'm loud and act like I know my right. But all I ever wanted is transparency when somebody is wrong. Mostly, I'm sorry, so please do not call the WhatsApp number, otherwise I'm unable to read your messages. I'm so sorry. So he always complained that I'm loud and act like I know my right, but all I ever want is transparency when something is wrong. Mostly issues related to how he relates to female. Most times I'm apologizing, so peace will just come between us. Fast forward, we had a heated argument last year, June, which wasn't properly addressed. I bluntly refused to apologize, and this time he did same. We stopped talking for almost 3 months. I didn't move on. I got myself busy whilst waiting for him to apologize, which never happened. Later, I decided to go to him by taking the first initiative since I am the lady, only to find out that he has moved on with another lady.
The relationship wasn't there from the beginning. You were just forcing yourself to be there.
Okay.
As simple as that.
So counselor says that it looks like the relationship never existed. You were literally forcing yourself.
You're just forcing yourself to be there.
So she should move on. That's some heartbreak.
Yes, you see, that is why I will continue to say, don't bond before marriage.
Okay.
Don't play wife before marriage.
Okay. So hi, my name is Star. So my ex-boyfriend and I ended our relationship on a really bad note. I moved on. But my ex and I are cool now. We are usually talking on WhatsApp. I want to know if it's wrong to still keep in touch with your ex-boyfriend.
The fact that you are no longer in a relationship doesn't make you enemies. It depends on what you're talking about and how comfortable whoever you are with now is with the sort of relationship you have. Because you can be, you can still be friends, but not friends on that romantic level, depending on the things you talk about, the times you talk, and then if your current partner is not comfortable with you having such communication with your ex, you need to communicate it with the person you are with now. Let the person get to know that this person is my ex, but we are just cool friends, and basically that's it.
Okay.
And if your current doesn't feel insecure, there's nothing wrong.
This is okay. Okay, let's go back to Kaforidia and talk to Doreen. Hi, Doreen.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Please, good morning.
Okay, please go on.
Please, I've been dating this guy for 8 years.
Okay.
And, both families are aware we wanted to get married, but for the past 3 to 4 years, anytime we have an issue, he gets so much angry, and then he throws his hands on me as well. And there's so many things I like about him, except that now I want to move out of the relationship, but I don't know. I still love him though.
Oh.
But I'm scared of this beating stuff. I don't know what to do.
Please.
But he has admitted of his weakness. He wants to change. But I feel like, so after the marriage.
So you've been dating for 8 years?
Hey.
Yes, please.
And you only discovered that he can beat you in the last 3 years?
In the last 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so half of the time that you're in a relationship, you never saw it. It never happened.
Yes, please.
What do you think triggered it?
I don't know, but we've been okay. I just realized that he started doing that. So maybe I don't know whether he has been hiding it for the past years. And then he has now showed it out.
Okay. And you say that he's admitted that is
he
his
has admitted
weakness.
that is what he's doing, and he knows it's wrong. He wants to change. But anytime he does it and says sorry, the moment there's an anger issue, he's not able to control himself. He talks anyhow and then uses his hands as well.
Okay. 8 years is quite a period. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll find out from the counselor.
Honestly, you don't date for 8 years. There's already marriage. And you see, if you tell me you're dating for 8 years and a guy is beating you after 5 years, the issue here is, what new thing are you going to add to what you already have when you get married? What new thing are you taking to him? Everything you have, every style you can do, every food you can cook, he's already seen it. There's nothing new you're going to add to his life. So when he starts insulting and starts beating you, he just wants you to leave.
Okay, so for a person who admits to this weakness, can it be solved?
Honestly speaking, people change. And like I said, it takes me deciding I want to change. It takes me deciding to work on myself to do that change. But you see, you're the one that you are the receiving end. You need to support me in that. But what were they waiting for all these 8 years to get married? What was it that was preventing them from getting married? If the guy really wanted to marry you, 8 years is long enough. At least a year is long enough for you to get married. Okay, and you go all the way 8. And I'm saying that even when you get married, the likelihood of this repeating is
I need to pick
high.
Rukaya because she tried calling earlier and we missed out on that. Hi, Rukaya.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rukaya.
Please, can I speak to you?
Yes, please, you can.
Hello?
Yes, you can.
Please, can I speak to you?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
My pacho. My boy. My family say my boy.
My family say your boy and I say your boy.
My family say my boy because why me?
Okay.
Menina for 5 years. Menina promising me say so onyaska beba be me hwade. Sena odimi o chancho.
Okay.
Many of us are my many now about word 1 year 3 years this year. I feel Sena or year one kind of credit me. It's in a miko who say, make all the parents when I'm going say or year.
Okay.
I think for me, Busano. I called an intoka or Dimatem Pewan. So I catch me say, or New Year. And the other thing I made to say, or year and I said, Namidia and Quenam and Grana saying, later. And our bedges say, or Rampa. I feel so. Many know, many know them on corner, but friendly, secretly.
Ain't you know, me a few questions, Rukaya. What's now 5 years?
That's right.
Okay, now 5 years, no, now we need nebusi any bia, now who nebusi any biada.
Me who nebusi for me call mo hompo. Na obano or wale no the next na cry.
Now, Oko nebusi for the hono, be ain't me and can't just worry.
Oh, beyond me and can't ni papa ni mammy. Baby, I'm and crampon cola nedia or catch him say on your banner jai. Only our banner or back no more jai. I say, near mammy tea and he say, me call the parents or me no Johnny. And I'm a banning in a younger sister be on dear grow. And Mrs. Stanley say, one new Riane a sa me couldn't back Kitrano. And Aqualana or catch him say one in Nere. Okay. I know Nancy say, one in Riane me bano. And I'm saying,
okay, Rukaya.
Yeah.
So, I'm say, as I'm no AI complicated kakra. So would you too? I 18 no. Aja me and is a member counselor in the number to ja. Your poa. No, our friend, not fed away to me a church, me, and only a bit in me a bois. So, I say, okay, me dance it.
You have a clear case of breach of promise to marry here.
Okay, it's. Okay.
There's a law here, breach of promise to marry. Well, when you promise somebody you're going to marry the person does things with you and for you, and eventually you decide not to marry the person, or you're already married, breach of promise. We can go to court.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I will call you to the
Yes. I mean, you can get some compensation. You can't force the person to marry you, but you can get compensation.
Okay.
For that.
Okay.
That law has been there, but only that women just say,
don't explore it.
Guys say, and all that. When you pay fees for a woman to go to school with the promise that she's going to marry after school, and she finishes school and decides not to marry you, you can sue.
That's if the woman promises.
Yes. I mean, it is based on a promise that you're going to marry after school that I was paying your fees.
Okay.
And after paying the fees and you finish school, you won't marry me, I can sue.
Give me a minute. Let's go to Kumasi and talk to Derek. Hi, Derek.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, I'd like to speak to you.
Please, all pleasure.
Okay. One thing about faithfulness in marriage, most of the times, men mistake baby and men mistake baby. But Obasa, power, the man do on my sabi, mammy. I want to deal with money be aside the cry. Bema wouldn't be Martin be free here. And ma, Miss Ramon tries to be doing if you see and password see and a demo and attitude kitchen. Oh, we got you the banana, the sabi on the drosses and be.
Okay, morning television, but you worry near you don't know who's going to make Nigeria and you okay do.
Yeah, but maybe which never maintain.
Okay.
So all these kind of things, and then my bema is so worry.
Into what hygiene and okay. Okay. All right, that's noted. Thank you.
Remember, no, so some boxes, no.
So I'm sure that we haven't gone off the letter from Vivian. I think we have a middle ground here, Vivian, but we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll take your final comments on Vivian's letter, except that I've got this message from Selassie, and she's watching us from Nkoko. She says that the program is very educative, and she's got a request. She says that if there can be a show on parent and children relationship, that is noted. We'll find time and discuss that one for you. So we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on Vivian's letter.
All new Close Up Ever Fresh. Wait, what's new? It now has triple fresh formula that cleans, protects, and cools, thanks to a powerful combination of 1. Purifying gel, 2. Antibacterial mouthwash formula, 3. Ice cool crystals that cleans deeply, fights up to 99% of bacteria, and intensely cools to keep you protected and fresh long after brushing. Close Up Triple Fresh Formula cleans, protects, and cools.
For an exclusive fragrance experience, try Nivea Men Deep Impact Body Lotion with a long-lasting woody fragrance, deep moisture, and a fresh skin feel. Make an impact with Nivea Men Deep Impact. Nivea Men, it starts with you.
Did you hear the super exciting news?
What have you heard?
GoTV's going super.
Are you serious?
Bringing brand new super awesome channels like Aquaba Magic, Honey, Africa Magic Urban, Rock, Kicks, Boomerang, and WWE. All at the super cool price of only 99 cities. Cool. So, get GoTV super-sized new package. GoTV Super.
Hello there, welcome back to Prime Morning. So today has been a very long one on Let's Talk Relationship, trying to find a middle ground for Vivian and her partner, yet to be husband. I've seen that you've sent me loads of messages. I'm really flooded with all of the messages, except I'm unable to read all of it. Maybe next time when I have the counselor, Mr. Smooth, in the studio, then he'll try and help a lot of you. But let's wrap up on Vivian. So Vivian and her shouting partner. What is the take home for me is that she should look at how this guy would have arguments with other people, especially those below.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind us
like I said, seek help. When you see the 4 emotions, defensiveness, which Vivian herself says she defends. Defensiveness, stonewalling, over-criticism, and contempt. when you have these 4 emotions in your relationship, quickly seek help. And the help you're seeking shouldn't just be any, forgive me, pastors, forgive me, that brand themselves as counselors and then just go read the Bible, go and pray and all those things. Yes, prayer is good. Reading the Bible is good. But when it comes to on the ground, let's be a little practical and get people who are trained to be able to help you deal with these issues.
Okay.
Basically, once you get help, the help doesn't necessarily mean that both of you have to travel to the counselor's office. These days, we do online services and all that.
So the person shouting,
the
person shouting, regardless of somebody
the person shouting,
he himself.
One should become aware.
And know that he's shouting.
Know that he's shouting.
Okay.
And then be willing to do something about it. And then when you are willing to change, the change is not instant. It comes gradual. So when the person is making the effort and the person errs, you only have to find a nice way of bringing to the person's notice, hey, you said you won't do this. Or jokingly, hey, you started your thing again. Okay. And then gradually, the person works on him or herself and reforms. Some of us have gone through a series of rebranding, rechanging, working on yourself to become what you are. You just didn't get up to become what you are. You decide, you make deliberate efforts to identify those flaws you have in your life and correct them. And it is only when you correct those negatives that you get more pluses in your life. First of all, identify it. Identify the wrong and work on it.
This relationship thing is difficult.
It's a whole industry.
Anyway.
That is why it took some of us 13 years of learning
to make their lives better. Yes. Okay, your number, the number that I promised.
My number is 0244 661011. 0244 661011. And I can say comfortably and confidently that when you call me, you can get both your help in your dating relationship and in your sex as well.
Okay, that's something.
I am a sex
therapist.
So
okay,
we can get all that.
So if you sent me messages and I was unable to read them, I apologize sincerely. Please channel all the messages to him. You get some help. This is for free for now. Okay, after the first session, you pay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you, Mr. Smooth. So we've got a bright and a beautiful surprise for you. KMJ's packaged it nicely just to make your morning. So stick and stay. We'll be back shortly.